Yeah.
You know, relative to how you threw at Prefontaine, not quite as far today, but do you have any concerns about the way things are going, or are you feeling good?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I mean, I don't want to have to bleep something out, but it was a pretty crappy day, I'll say that. And it's nice to have a crappy day and still make the Olympic team and throw pretty darn far. But I think it's one of those things, I feel good, and you wait all season to feel good, and all of a sudden you have a fresh body that you got to get used to. So all season you're driving the Mag truck, and then you get the Ferrari, and you got to find a way to keep it on the road. And I'm in really good shape to throw far today. I just didn't do it, and I think I made some mistakes, and it's not my wife's fault. It's not my fault. It's just the way that we got to just prepare to go into Paris. When you get this fresh body, you want to throw a meter farther. You're capable of it, but you got to be ready to have all these extra whips and loosey-goosey feelings that you didn't have all season.
What in particular kind of felt foreign in that sense today?
What'd you say?
What in particular kind of felt weird about that today?
I'll tell you the weirdest thing, and I'm sure with the sprinters and stuff, the same thing. Like you know, our sport is kind of linear periodization, so you do kind of you peak up to this moment, and not to say I'm super peaked. I'm still in the weight room a little bit, but I feel really good today, and it's always annoying to not have a good day when you feel so good. So, but I think there's obviously more in the tank, and I've seen some far practices. I think I just got to get back in a groove I had, and I think there's some far throws to come.
How do you prepare for a competition like this, knowing you've thrown extremely far, and maybe do you prepare for with a big peak for trials, or is?
Yeah, I respect this meet more than any meet, and this is the hardest meet of the year. You know, it's obviously I don't want to downgrade the Olympics or the World Championships, but to make this team, the level that it's going to take to make this team, especially the stress of the day, knowing you could be the world's #1 on a Monday and you come here and the trials are on Tuesday, that's all that matters. It just comes with a different aura about it, and make sure that you can't come in here, having an off day, because just as you saw today, somebody's going to find a way. Peyton got on the team, he did, but there's some other guys behind him who could have taken his place or my place, and you just always got to be ready. So this day is, you have it circled in the calendar all year, and it kind of feels like a hurry up and wait thing at the last minute, because you're just waiting and you're excited to get it over with, because I just told another interview, it's a really special moment to make the Olympic team, but when you're in the moment, it's just you check the box because it's just part of the plan. So it's one of those things that, at the end of the season, or definitely a career, you look back and you're super proud to be a part of. But right now, all eyes on Paris. This was just part of the plan, and we got to keep it going.
Tokyo was such a weird, different kind of Olympics.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to?
I think, Paris is going to do it right. I feel special going back to the Paris Stadium. That was my first professional meet after the 2012 Olympic trials, so I was in that stadium. So it's kind of cool for me to go back there, and I'm excited to put on a good show. I think it's going to be, obviously there's no fans in Tokyo. It's not what you think of the Olympic experience, and I think going to Paris, I know my family's got tickets already. My wife's the Olympic team coach for the women, so she's already had her ticket for Paris booked for a long time now. So now our family's even more excited to kind of take that breath that we both got our tickets punched. We're going to be there. Obviously, she has her job to do, but she's got to make sure that I'm ready too. So we're excited to do it as a family affair.
When you've been in the 23s, your chief competition has been beat up a little bit this spring. Did it give you the sense that this is the big opportunity? This is the biggest opportunity to win the Olympics, and then he shows up and he's pretty dang good again. How did you take all that in?
Well, I don't think that was a great meet for Ryan either. And I don't think it was a great meet for me. And I think today's a qualifier. It ultimately is. There's no different than yesterday was a qualifier to get to today, and today's a qualifier to get to the next one. And I think I never will talk about my injuries, and that's just how I've been my whole career. So I'll keep them to myself. But everybody, I'm never going to give myself an excuse of where I'm at. And I think where I'm at today should have been better. And I think it will be better in Paris.
Joe, you're one of the few athletes who competed at the 2012 Olympic trials, and then of course 2013 was your first World Championships, and you're still here throwing your best ever, right? How are you able to remain so resilient and consistent year after year?
I look up to the guys who were in the sport before me: Reese Hoffa, Christian Cantwell, Adam Nelson, John Godina. They were the best in the U.S. and then they were the best in the world. And there was a changing the guard, and I kind of had to retire one of my heroes, Reese Hoffa, Adam Nelson. And in doing that, you feel this responsibility, because I've been to 7 major championships, and I've got a medal every single one of them, and obviously want to keep this streak continuing into Paris. But as a U.S. shot putter, to make this team, you better come home with some hardware, or at least feel that, because we are the best. You know, we swept the World Championships two World Championships ago, and we definitely have the capabilities of doing that going to Paris.
All the years that you've been competing professionally, what would be the main takeaway that if you could tell yourself back in 2012 what to get ready for, what would you say?
Well, I mean, it's something I've always said every year. Like, I've never done it the same. I'll never try to do it the same. Like, every single year, it's different. And, of course, you're building upon the past, but, you know, I always say, like, if I fast forward from 21 to 2015, my first World Championship, first time I have a gold medal, if I ended my career there where I thought it would be to throw far or train, or the mindset compared to what it is now with the obviously probably 1.5 meters farther than that, and having kids and perspective, it's changed so much. And I think that's one thing that I feel very proud of, that I've been able to evolve with the sport and evolve my mindset and not be afraid to, you know, my wife hates when I say this analogy, but sometimes I'll, like, you know, I'm confident that I can burn the house down and what I thought I needed to do well because I built it before. I can build it again. I'm never afraid to go back and, you know, if I feel something is going to be better doing it this way, I'm not afraid to kind of take a swing and try it, and I might fail at it, but I have confidence I can always go back because I had the blueprint of how I did it before.
Are you still making innovations in your technique?
Yeah, it's definitely changed, and I think today was a big miss for me. I'll just be honest. I think I'm in really good shape to throw well today, and I think I just kind of got a little tappy and reverted to some things that I don't like when I do, when I, you know, get a little nervous and excited. So I think there's some big throws to come. I've never seen the ball go this far than I have in my life, so it's annoying to have a day like today. And, you know, it's obviously in perspective, you got second place through 22 something, and proud of that. But, you know, there's another meter there. So
it seems like your baseline is almost higher this season than I think I've ever seen before. What do you think attributed to that?
Yeah, I think, you know, my level's getting higher. All my ball sets are getting higher. My strength is higher. This whole season we've been working on my minimum level to make this day, you know, not as stressful. And, you know, I'm happy to get through it. But now it's about going to the high level. You know, today's all about making sure you're on that team, making sure that there's, you know, my first throw was the best throw. You don't really want that to happen, but, you know, I made the team off my first throw. It's a nice feeling to have. But going into Paris, it's going to take a lot more than that. It's going to take 1 meter plus more than that, and I got to be ready to kind of go swing for that and be aggressive. And luckily, I've been there before. I'm excited to do it again.
Last question. So I've heard this from other male shot putters specifically, because that's what I've interacted with, is once you have kids, you get this real sense of dad strength.
Sure, yeah.
Where you get stronger, but not only that, it just seems like every training session just matters more. How do you think that has evolved, not only mentally but physically, since you've had your twins?
Yeah, dad strength is real. I mean, I think it's a culmination of a lot of things. I think it's perspective. It's like, you know, there's been a few times over the years I wanted to be done, and, you know, my perspective changes. Is why am I still throwing? And, you know, I get to spend every single day with my kids and my wife every day. So, I mean, that's something to, you know, stick around for. The lifestyle design of that is a true blessing, and I'm excited for it. And having them, you know, it's definitely different. I used to get super pumped up for practice, and now I might be playing with Lightning McQueen and Sally, little cars around, and then put them down for a nap and then go out and chalk up real quick. So it's definitely different flipping that switch, but I think the perspective and the drive, there's nothing better than it. Being a dad is the best gift in the world. I'm super thankful to have Ashley as my wife, to be a wife, but also kind of keep me in line in the ring and make sure that I don't have any days like I had today, and we can get a little better than that.
Thanks, Joe.
Appreciate it.
Joe, just wanted to ask you one other question. Michael Johnson had unveiled his Grand Slam League, and of course, shot put, all field events are missing. Just curious about your thoughts and kind of like the place of field events in track and field as a whole.
Well, I hate how people maybe said some stuff about that. I think it's absolutely amazing what he's trying to do. You know, like our sport, anybody who wants to put that down, I just don't agree with it. Because, I mean, somebody who's trying to make our sport better, whether it's just the track events for now or may always be there, I'm a huge fan of that. Because, I mean, anything that pushes us forward is a help. I think for myself, you know, I got to focus on the Olympics now, but I've said this for years, I think it's my turn to kind of foster that for field events, the throws. My goal is to get the shot put in the Arnold Classic, all the strongman competitions, to start featuring us. And, you know, when you come to a track meet, you have fans of runners who might be excited to watch the shot putters roll around there, but it's maybe not the same background. If we go to the Arnold Classic or the LA Fitness Expo, there's a lot of meatheads who understand the shot put and the periodization behind it that might be a little bit closer of an audience. So I think it's time that it's great for us to break up sometimes, and the throwers might need to have a little expo outside of the track, the same way that Michael Johnson's highlighting the track and field events and trying to make a story behind it. I'm a huge fan of Michael Johnson for doing that. Anytime that we can promote our sport, whether it's just one facet of it, it's a win for everybody.